Yo, 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 yo. We are the ill-advised wise guys. Your boy, check out my boy.
Cute Daisy. But cheesy. It's way too easy. Shout out to all them cicadas falling on the ground, man. I had to sweep up so many the other day. It's disgusting. You know, the thing at the same, what disgusted me even more about the cicadas is I would look them in the eyes. They kind of look like crawfish. So I'm like, yo,
Big ass eyes too.
they look like crawfish, man. I don't know if I can eat crawfish at our annual barbecue, bruh.
Listen.
After seeing all them cicadas,
Hey, looky here. I will never forget the day. Shout out to Anderson. I don't know if you're watching this. We grew up together. I'll never forget the day this man took a cicada off the tree because we dared him. He wouldn't eat it. He ate the freaking cicada off the tree because we dared him to do it. I said, bro, are you crazy? You actually, and what? Why in God's name? We didn't even give him no money. Like, this wasn't even a serious bet. It's almost like he wanted to do it. I don't know, man.
Probably eaten it before.
Maybe he thought it was a crawfish. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Crawfish. He's like, I've eaten worse. Shout out your boy Ando.
Yeah, nah. Shout out to Ando. This is episode 101. 101.
101.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 101. 101. Hey, listen, how about just the fact that we've now entered into the triple digits, right? I know we did that on the last episode, but damn, bro, like it's a mouthful saying 101, 108. Like, that's different. It just sounds different to me. Like,
it sounds fake.
I don't know. It doesn't sound real, right?
It sounds fake. Like, you're, oh yeah, episode 105. Like, damn, y'all did 105 episodes.
Right.
It makes it seem like you were doing it since you were 10. No, we weren't. We just very consistent people. Consistency is one of the traits every human being should strive to be. Consistent.
Exactly. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in right now, whether you're listening to this on YouTube. You know, hopefully you're subscribed. If not, hit that subscribe button, like the video, share with your people. If you're listening to this on any other, platform, audio wise, same thing. Leave us a review and share it with your friends. Listen, the best thing y'all can do for us is just simply share the video, because you know what happens when you share the episode? It goes to somebody else, and you know what that happens when that episode goes to somebody else. It's like a domino effect. Okay, like, we're not asking for anything other than just to hit the share button and share it with somebody that you trust.
That actually sounds very good. Domino's tonight might be good with a little garlic crust. Oh yeah,
it does.
Domino's got one of the best pizza crusts. You can hashtag me all you want, me, whatever the hell these kids are doing out there. Domino's has the best crust out of all of them.
Look, I had pizza for breakfast this morning.
No, you
shout out to the. I really did.
You're a liar.
I swear to God.
Cold pizza? Or did you?
No, I warmed it up, but I still had pizza for breakfast.
You know, white people talk about cold pizza. They're like, oh, hey, cold pizza is the greatest.
Cold pizza is not bad. It's not bad.
No,
it's not as bad as it's. See, people like you who
what does that even mean?
What do you mean? What does it mean?
Just
it's obvious.
Eat the pizza cold?
Duh.
What do you mean, duh? Like, that's something
that's what cold pizza means.
I can fathom tasting good. How can that taste good?
No, but
I've eaten cold pizza before. It's I don't get it.
Okay, that's fine. Listen, it's one thing to say I don't like it. It's another thing to ask me, what does cold pizza mean? You know what cold pizza means. Cold pizza means cold pizza. Stupid.
It has to be something else. It has to be something else to it. Maybe like they put whipped cream on the pizza or something. I don't know. But what I ate does not taste like anything that should have a name after it. There was a TV show named after it.
It was.
First Take is formerly called Cold Pizza.
That's true. That's very true. Trivia for the people, man. You're not getting paid for doing trivia for the people, but no, that is right. You're 100% right.
I don't understand it.
I do want to know though, because as vehemently against you are, against cold pizza as you are, I want to know what people think, because I've really never had a convo with people as far as like whether or not they eat cold pizza or not. I want to
I've
hear.
never heard, like I said, I've never heard a black person say, "I look forward to cold pizza." Never.
Well, you didn't hear that from me. I didn't say I look forward to it. What the fuck you talking about?
But you know
listen,
what? I can't
I
complain.
said it's pretty decent. Like, it's
I
not as
can't-
bad as you
I
make it
can't-
seem.
Hey, listen, I say cold pizza, but then I would get why like somebody wouldn't eat peanut butter soup. Like, hey, you know, in the African families over here cooking peanut butter soup, talk about you want some peanut butter soup? Why would how is that appetizing? Peanut butter soup?
Hey, that's
It's
just
so good, man.
That's
It's
just
so
slaps.
good.
Fuck out of here. Nah, they don't know what they're talking about. Whoever
7-Up cake.
That's not an African dish.
It's not African dish, but I'm saying
Why the hell you
okay.
try to say it like it? 7-Up case? you just try to throw an accent on there for no reason.
Yo, man. Hey, man. Hey, it is what it is, man. Hey, by the way,
Yo, what's up?
Kind of pivoting. I had to say this. I know I said this offline, but I have to reiterate. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, Bill Cosby has been in jail for 3 years now. Like, has it hit anybody that Bill Cosby has done more time than Gucci Mane? Bill Cosby, the lovable father, the one that was telling people to be great fathers, pull your pants up, is in jail currently. He is on the next season of Locked Up Abroad. Bill Cosby.
Look, brother. Look, here's the thing. F who he is. F his name. Forget about all of that. Look at what he was convicted of. That's a problem. All right. You can't go around drugging people, period, and having involuntary sex with them. All right. I don't give a fuck I don't care if you're Gandhi. I don't care who you are. If you do that, you deserve to go to jail. Straight up.
If you said 20 years ago, if you asked me if you told me 20 years ago, Bill Cosby would be doing time, he would be in jail. Just yesterday, Bill Cosby was denied parole. Like 20 years ago, Bill Cosby. Yeah, okay, stop playing around, man. I mean, stop playing, dog. Like, Bill Cosby ain't in jail. What you talking about? He's been in jail for 3 years. Whoa. Whoa. Anybody?
No, that's true.
You know the term everybody says you can be anything you want in this world? Yeah. Because people are becoming anything that they could be in this world, including jailbirds.
Oh boy, listen, it's not something to laugh about. I really don't want to laugh at the fact that Bill Cosby has been in jail for this long.
He is in jail as we speak.
It's very shocking that the man is still in jail. I told you this offline. I think he's gonna get out probably within the next year. Like I don't think he's not gonna serve his entire sentence of 10 years. He's not. I don't believe it.
Bill Cosby is a convicted felon. Bill Cosby is going to show up in the sexual, what's that database with like sexual predator database that they have around. Bill Cosby is going to show up in that. It just hit me. I mean, I don't have an opinion on it. It just hit me like how crazy this world is and how like things just change as we grow up.
True. Hey, man,
it's hard to predict this world.
Listen, at the end of the day, man, the moral of that story is stop being sexual deviants, guys and girls. All right. Willingly have consensual relations with your partner. It's cool. Stop doing shit against people's will. All right. That's what's gonna get you caught up. Period.
Either that or tell your doctor to lower your testosterone levels. You can do that. That could be done for you.
You think that would help? You think that'll help certain dudes?
Of course it'll help. Turn off your libido.
Libido level.
Turn down your libido levels. Just a notch.
On that note, I don't want to talk about Bill Cosby no more, man. Let's actually start the show, bro. Hey, Bill Cosby was talking trash about all these rappers. Talking about pull your pants up and stop saying the N-word. Hey, he's related to music, man. That's why we brought him.
That's true. He did. He was. Bill Cosby was related to music.
Bill Cosby.
It's crazy,
man. Let's jump right into this. So, shall we start the show? I believe it's that time.
I think so.
All All right, man. Let's do that, man. So DMX, man. DMX, the legend himself, you know, rest in peace to DMX. He and his team put out that, I guess I would say, highly anticipated project, posthumous project that just came out called Exodus. You know, we've seen people like Swiss Beats go on press runs trying to promote the album. I don't know if you've seen that. I've seen interviews with him on the Breakfast Club, different places, kind of breaking down the meaning of the album and just days leading up to his untimely demise and death. But Q, I haven't spoken to you in depth about this project. I know we touched on it very briefly. What were your first? I want to know first and foremost, like, did you have any expectations? Number one, for this project, with this being supposedly his final album, and then secondly, what did you actually think of the album itself when you did hear it?
Great questions, brother, as usual. Very good questions. So DMX was not rapping. Well, let me not say he was not rapping. DMX was not putting out music as consistently as other artists. If I recall, I don't know the last album he put out. If you could even look that up and let me know about that, but it has to be at least 5 years ago.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
So, but they were talking about, you know, DMX was in the lab these last couple of months, and you know, just to be completely honest with you, I didn't think that he was that great a rapper these last couple of years.
By the way, his last project came out 2017. It was called Dog Eats Rabbit, in parentheses, Black Burner versus DMX. I never even heard of his project.
What about that? What was before that?
And then the one right before that was in 2015 called Redemption of the Beast. Never heard of it. Didn't listen to it.
Okay. So
you want me to keep going? I think the one that you actually remember is probably Undisputed in 2012.
I remember Undisputed. But yeah, I mean, DMX, I stopped associating DMX's name to music these last couple of years. He's more of a reality star, legendary guy who already has his spot in our hip hop top 5 list. But so I wasn't really, my expectations for DMX as a rapper were very low. I'm not gonna lie. With that being said, this album, it exceeded expectations for me from a music standpoint. I thought it was really, really well put together. Very similar to how Pop Smoke's album was put together. Very well put together. Choppy, you know, a splash of nostalgia, a splash of new school music, features that DMX would work with, some features he wouldn't. Like DMX and Moneybagg Yo, what were they thinking? That Moneybagg Yo and DMX on the same song. That does not make any sense mathematically, logistically. Yeah, but anyway,
I'm with you on that. By the way, I do want to interject. Supposedly, and not even supposedly, because I saw the interview with Swiss Beats. He said that Pop Smoke was supposed to be on that song.
Oh, that makes more sense. That didn't make sense. I mean, DMX and Bono, the great Bono. I mean, it was just a mixture of a little bit of his old school stuff too. Like I thought the best song on the album was "That's My Dog," the very first song with the Locks, and that's because it gave me authentic DMX, Rough Riders, Swiss Beats, the Locks, feels. But then like for every "That's My Dog," there was like Skyscrapers with Bono, which I think is a good song, but I'm like, that doesn't sound like a stereotypical DMX song. But what I will say that's glaring about the album is if you just take away the way DMX raps, because I really, yes, I try to say this in a nice way. I don't think he is a good rapper on this album. He does not put up good rap performances on this album. Like his flows are choppy. He doesn't necessarily fill out the songs. Like whoever put the songs together, I don't think they matched his intensity to the song that he was on. And then like it kind of just sounds erratic, but what I love about it is he shows a lot of emotion on the verses. He gets to talk about some demons that he was battling. He gets to talk about his health, his mental health. He talks about his son. He talks about being better people. So I thought that was dope. All in all, it was a great experience. The album was a great experience. I know people are going to trash it because it's not the old DMX. We were never going to get that, but I do think it felt like a good closing chapter to a career that is very underrated, and a career that I thought was very impactful.
Yeah. So as far as grading, I mean, what would you actually give this album as far as grade wise?
I would give it a C. I would give it a C. I don't think it's bad. I mean, I think I reiterate, I think his rapping performances were bad. And I think that's mainly because they put him on songs that it just did not fit. Like it just did not make sense for him to be on. But I think the way it was structured, put together, I think was pretty decent. Respectable. Very respectable.
Okay. I feel where you're coming from with a C. I think that's a respectful grade, and all the stuff you said, I think I'm on par with that. Like, I'm gonna start with my grade. I would actually give this about a C plus. Reason why I give this a C plus is because, and hopefully that this doesn't sound blasphemous. As far as the music that I've been accustomed to, along DMX's career, I should say, this is up there as far as the musicality. Like it's up there. It might be number one, actually. Like if we really getting into just the songs themselves and how they sounded mixed, and how grand the songs sounded. Like, for example, you talked about Skyscrapers with Bono. While I'm with you on that. Like, I feel you. That's kind of out of the DMX realm. Like, we're not used to hearing him over those types of songs that sound like they should be played at festivals, like white people festivals. Bro, like I still like the song though. Like I thought it was still a good song. Like but I hear some of your points though. One thing I want to say is that I'm actually glad I watched the interview with Swiss Beats. It put a lot of things in perspective for me. For example, when you talk about the verses kind of just sounding choppy, one thing that Swiss Beats said was that DMX was actually in the booth creating all of these songs in real time. They didn't do what they did with Pop Smoke's album, where after he died, they just crafted together a bunch of shit and verse here over that beat and that. Apparently DMX was part of the entire process. So that makes me happy. That doesn't actually mean that every song was great, but still, I'm glad he actually played a part in selecting verses over which beats and all of that other stuff. That's important to me. I'm sure that was important to him as well. Some of the songs that really stood out to me, I think you talked about one of them. That's My Dog. Oh man, nostalgic. I actually thought Sheik Luch put up a great verse. Great verse. I really like that Sheik verse, as well as all of them. But the Sheik one, to me, I really like the most. That's really the only one that had nostalgic vibes, right? If you really get into it, like. Even bath salts with Jay-Z and Jay-Z and Nas, I just
Jay-Z and Nas, when they link up.
No,
I mean,
man.
I put them as top 5 songs, but like they do mid songs together.
Listen, no,
they do mid songs.
That song is not it. Period. I don't care, man. And we actually need to start saying that more loudly, not to be disrespectful, but to really just put it in perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like it just needs to be said. But other than that, some other joints that stood out to me were I talked about Skyscrapers. I really like the joint Hold Me Down with Alicia Keys. That was cool. Letter to My Son. I talked about that joint offline, man. That emotional song, bro, like brought tears to my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like it was one of those. I feel like he knew exactly what he was trying to get at with that song. And my biggest thing is I hope his son called him. Yo, I hope his son called him, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it was tough to hear a father have regrets like that. You know what I'm saying? And just be pleading for his son to just give him a call. I really hope his son actually, followed through with that and he got a chance to really call him before he died. But all in all, though, like I said before, man, this to me is up there as far as DMX musically speaking, like the way the album sounded. I think it's up there. I think it's actually one of his better ones. Do I think it's his best album? No. But I think musically speaking, it's up there. It's one of his best. Now, I know that probably doesn't make sense because why wouldn't an album that's more musically diverse and just advanced be better than some of his earlier projects? Well, I think it's just because if you just look at the times that we were in during Flesh of My Flesh, Grand Champion, you know what I'm saying? Like them joints just had. Sorry, it's Dark and Hell is Hot is the one I really wanted to say.
I think you're.
What's up?
I was gonna say I think you're very wrong with that take, but
which take?
I respect it.
Which take?
The take Explain. About this as being one of his best musically.
Bro, it is
not. I mean,
It is, dog.
It's not.
It actually is.
Dark and Hell is Hot.
Let me explain. Let me explain because I didn't even make the punchline. You jumped in before I even actually made the point.
There's no way you can go, but go ahead. There's no angle you can take.
No, it is. This is very simple.
Okay.
Conceptually, he's put out way better projects. Conceptually, those first two albums conceptually are by far better than this new joint. It's not even close, right? So off that alone and just the raps, I'm giving those projects the nod over this new one. This new album really didn't have a theme to me. It just seemed like music that they put together that was pretty good. Like the musicality of it was pretty good, but it didn't really have a concept. So that's where I actually give. That's where I give the knock.
No, I mean
there was no concept to me.
I get you, but even from a music standpoint, like we forget that DMX had songs like "How's It Going Down." "How's It Going Down" musically is a fantastic song. Aside from the raps that he was able to put on it, that's a song. I said no. Album. I know. I'm talking about the album. I'm talking about that album. As Dark as Hell is Hot had songs like "How's It Going Down." It had songs like "Damien" that, conceptually speaking, from a musical standpoint, was better than everything. Like from a musical standpoint, like yes, Damien, yes,
concept standpoint, not musically. There's a difference. There's a difference.
I get what you're saying. I know what you're saying. So
there's a major difference. You're conflating the two.
Here's where I'm not. Here's where I will say I agree. In terms of emotional music, in terms of music with more heartfelt themes, yes, like. This new album has more heartfelt music, has more soulful music, has more elements of complex melodies. Okay. But like when you're talking about songs like Damien, okay, it's just as impressive musically because like he's coming from certain angles musically. Like just Damien alone, like with Marilyn Manson, that's music too. That's impressive music too. That's structurally put together music that is impressive.
Look, I think you're putting words in my mouth. I didn't say it wasn't impressive. None of that. I'm saying the collection of music to me, if I'm just looking at the collection of songs that make up this new album versus some of the other ones he's put out, I'm saying that this is towards the top musically, like just all around. Everything that you just highlighted that you said you agree with me on, but you disagree. All of that stuff goes into what the point I'm making. Like it's all there.
I'm saying, yeah. I mean, it's musically, yeah. I mean, I agree. But it's nowhere near his first 2 or 3 albums. I don't think it's nowhere near. I think it's
in terms of impact. In terms of impact,
musically. Talking from a music
standpoint. I disagree.
Okay, all right.
I disagree.
We agree to disagree.
You're wrong for that.
We agree to disagree. Like musically standpoint from a music, I think here's the problem. Okay. I have a problem with people with that put on a pedestal.
By the way, let's try to wrap it up a bit and then
We'll
move
wrap
on
it
to
up.
the next topic.
say
But
this last
I
one.
want to hear this.
Like, just because you got an R&B singer that's being soulful singing on a song doesn't make it, oh my gosh, this is something that's super duper musically great. Like blah 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 blah. Like, for instance, something like Happy, right, by Pharrell. We talked about that earlier. Happy is nowhere near the same level of soulful as some of these other songs. But if you just pay attention to the structure of the song, you pay attention to the intricacies that go into the beat, how he's saying certain things, just all of that matter in terms of the quality of music. It's not just because yeah, I'm hearing the song with Alicia Keys. Yeah, I'm hearing the song with Usher. Yeah, it's soulful. Yeah, it's powerful. But at the end of the day, I compare that to Slippin'. They're like the same. Like, just because somebody's an R&B singer on a rap song, it doesn't make it more musical to me.
I don't
like.
I think if what you just heard me say was,
I'm not saying you say that.
then
I'm not saying
you missed
I'm
what
not
I just
saying,
said.
I mean, I think that's what people run with. Like,
that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I am saying.
Right.
That is not what I said. That is not what my position. That's not where I stand. I'm talking about. By the way, I don't want to keep going back and forth. The point is, we can actually take this debate offline. We can take it to social media. We can take it wherever else we want to go, just not here. I think we should move on. Honestly,
that's true. That's a good point.
I think we should move on.
Let's move on. Thank you. Next topic, which I don't have the order, so I'm just gonna pick a topic out of
Drake.
We have.
Drake, brother. Drake.
Let's talk about Drake. I'm always down to talk about Drake. Aren't you?
Why not?
Drizzy Drake Rogers, aka Champagne Poppy, aka what else do they call him? What was his old nickname? Drizzy Drake Rogers.
Drizzy Drake Rogers.
What else can we call him?
Only the day ones know that name.
Aubrey.
Young Angel, Young Lion.
Young Angel, Young Six God.
Six God, yeah.
Six God. Yeah. So whatever the hell you want to call him. He was actually giving.
Wait, hold on. Wait, sorry. What was that show he was on again? I forget. What was the show he was on?
Degrassi.
Well, wasn't his name Jimmy in that show?
Jimmy. It was Jimmy. Yeah.
Hey, Jimmy. That was another. It's like, nah, nobody calls him that. I never watched Degrassi, by the way. That was
his name Wheelchair Jimmy? I never watched
that. That was never a show I was on.
People always say how good it was. I was a Saved by the Bell guy. So, yeah. So apparently your boy, Drizzy Drake Rogers, won an award for Billboard Artist Decade of the Year. Sorry, I said Decade of the Year. Artist of the Day.
Yo, man.
Drake was
come on, act like you've done this before, man. Act like you've done this before, bro. Come on, man.
Drake was called. They named him Artist of the Decade. So I agree with that, by the way. I think he is Artist of the Decade. Do you agree with him getting this Artist of the Decade award?
Of course. It's not even.
It's not an of course.
No, it isn't. It is, of course. And don't you dare.
I just like playing devil's advocate.
You have nobody to even put in the conversation to legitimately overthrow.
Are you kidding me? Who? Beyonce dropped some stuff.
Over Drake?
Beyonce dropped some stuff.
Over Drake?
Adele. Who else do we got? Artist of the Decade? Adele. Kanye. We're talking 10 years, brother. Drake was.
I'm with you. So we're talking. Okay, so let's define it. So we're talking about. I'm assuming they went from 2010 or 2011 to now, right?
I'm assuming.
Yeah, let's just go with that. Kanye dropped My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yes, he did.
I believe 2010.
Yeah. And
followed by
808s and Heartbreak.
No, maybe. That was before.
Was that 08? Okay.
No, yeah, that was before. Right after that, I believe it was Yeezus.
He dropped all them other ones. Yeezus,
Life of Pablo.
Yay.
No,
Kanye's a little.
He's not in this cover.
Kanye's a little. Beyonce dropped Lemonade. Beyonce dropped Self-Titled Beyonce. Lemonade. I can argue with you. Lemonade is a top 5 album of all time. But I can argue with you.
What?
But she dropped Lemonade.
Don't
Not
argue that.
Lemonade. I can
Don't
argue with you.
don't argue that.
Lemonade is a top 5 album of all
You
time.
ain't gonna. Matter of fact,
said it
I'm not.
again.
I'm not arguing with you on that. That's just wrong.
That is a great, fantastic album
Of all time.
It goes like this for me. That and Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, they're like they neck and neck. Those are two, I think, undeniable A albums. You just don't like women artists, so it's you always
you see these fucking narratives. Why would you? The minute somebody disagrees, you create a narrative that's incorrect.
Because you're the only one that said it's ridiculous that Lemonade was not an A. That's
I
an
didn't
A
say
album.
that. That's not what I said.
Okay,
you see what I'm saying? Again, putting words in my mouth. I never said that. I said it's not a top 5 album of all time. What the freak? Like,
I said it's arguable. It's arguable.
Listen, Lemonade was definitely an A. Lemonade was an A. Are you kidding? A plus? You
Thank
freaking
you.
kidding me?
Okay, so
throw the freaking documentary along. That joint is an A plus, bro. Are you kidding me?
The documentary was not no damn A plus. Even though that you mean
yes,
the game?
It was.
The game? Anyway, sorry, I'm tripping off the truly.
Nah, you wildin'. You
super so wildin'. Drake. So do you agree with that Drake's artist of the decade?
Yes, easily. I think I don't believe there's anybody else that's more fitting than Drake to win that type of award. And like, I think everybody has kind of already known this, but it goes without saying that Drake is a pop star, bro. Drake has been a pop star since like damn near day one. This is back when he was doing the little thing with his hands, like no, like I think he was a pop star since then. I'm talking about like even one of his first singles off that first album, the one that Kanye produced, "Find Your Love." That's what it was. That's what it was called. Even attempts at music like that, like to me, you could just see early on that Drake was really going for a more global look. I mean, we've seen him make songs in damn near every genre at this point. I think in beyond the diversity musically that Drake brings to the table, the singing, the rapping, one of the other things that is fitting is the fact that Billboard in particular was the one giving out this award, right? Billboard is the people who only care about numbers, and Drake, I believe he has more number ones than the Beatles. Did he not say that in a few of his songs? Like, so you mean to tell me the Beatles, the Beatles might be white people's version of Michael Jackson. I know that's a group, but like the way older white people talk about the Beatles, bro, like it's different. You ever seen Skip Bayless talk about the Beatles, bro? He be sweating like, oh my God, Paul McCartney. Oh my God, they're the greatest. I'm like, dude, that might be the way people talk about Drake. How the way people are going to be talking about Drake and some of these other people that have come later on down the line. But I think absolutely Drake is 100% without a doubt to me. I think the artist of the decade, and I would be very curious as to who would even be in the running. I know you threw a couple names out there. You said Beyonce, you said Adele. I'm not sure how serious you were about either one of those. I know you said Kanye, but realistically speaking, I didn't watch Billboard Awards, so I don't really. Who else was even nominated? Do you know? I can look this up right now, but I don't even know.
I don't think it was a nomination. I think it's just kind of like a lifetime achievement type thing.
They just gave it to him.
So we already knew going in, but I'm gonna
but even then, behind the scenes, right before they gave him the award, right, even if it wasn't a nomination type deal, I'm assuming that there were other people that they considered, maybe not strongly, but I'm assuming there's some other people that were maybe discussed. I'm curious as to know like who else was even discussed. But go ahead, I'm done. Drake is 100% without a doubt the artist of the decade, and shout out to Drake, man. That's an accomplishment that not even Pusha T can take away from you.
I mean, I want to talk about, they say men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie, right? So, before I say that, before I give you some numbers, I'll say I agree, and I don't think it's close. And I'll tell you why I agree, but I'm going to give you some numbers real quick. So Drake's career started essentially like it took off essentially like around 2008, 2009. I am actually one of the few people that remember Replacement Girl. with Trey
Oh, yeah.
Songz. Remember we talked about it when everybody,
Bro.
me and this guy have known each other for so long.
Yeah.
I used to come to his house. He used to come to my house, and majority of the time, all we did was listen to music, watch music videos, things like that, and just comment on that stuff. And after playing basketball and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Replacement Girl, Trey Songz, and I at the time Trey Songz was actually bigger than him. And it was like Trey Songz was doing a favor for Drake. Remember Drake and Trey Songz had that like buddy relationship. People forget about that.
No,
like,
it was cool. Apparently they're no longer cool, but who knows?
And I remember that. By the way, remember that interview where Drake was giggling? He said, "They said, who do you talk to on the phone?" He was like, "I talked to this person and Trey Songz." Remember that?
I do, bro. I really do. Yo, I wish
he was doing stuff like that back then.
I wish we could just insert that clip into the episode right now.
I think even Trey Songz commented, right? Trey Songz was like, "Hey, nah, dog." But anyway,
yo, we don't talk about how much of a weirdo Drake was. He was
kind of weird.
He was a weirdo, man.
He was a weirdo. Kind of weird. He was a weird.
Drake.
He was kind of weird.
Drake filled out, man. He definitely.
He was kind of weird. That beard gives you power,
for sure. But go ahead.
But essentially, what I was going to say was at that time of Replacement Girl, I did not think this guy had a future at all. I didn't think he had the look. I didn't think he had the style, the swagger. But since then, which is around 2008, 2009, essentially a decade, he has 5 studio albums, 84 music videos, 4 EPs, 139 singles, 7 mixtapes, 3 compilation albums, 3 promotional singles. His first album, Thank Me Later, went #1 in Canada, #1 in US. Second album, Take Care, #1 in US, #1 in Canada. Third album, Nothing Was the Same, #1 in US, #1 in Canada. Fourth album, Views, #1 in Canada, #1 in US. Fifth album, Scorpion, #1 in Canada, #1 in US. Do we think Certified Lover Boy is going to be #1 when it drops? Of course it's going to be #1 when it drops. Drake has been #1 in 2 countries because people forget he's Canadian. He has dominated essentially 2 countries.
Yeah. But I want to say, like, I know you're highlighting specifically America and Canada, but let's be very clear. Drake is going #1 consistently in a lot of other countries. Let's be very, very clear.
I see that Views went #1 in Australia. Views went #1 in Ireland. Number two in France. But even with all that being said, what I'm the most impressed about is his level of clout, how he was able to keep his clout for so long. Like he is the epitome of adjustment. Like when he first came out with Replacement Girl, he adjusted his sound, his style, and he ran with a heartbreak style. He became a killer rapper when you needed him to, and it just seems like he always knew how to say something cool. Like always, true. Right? Drake is just cool. Like when he raps, he just always knows how to say something cool. Like to me, that's really hard to keep up with. So
it's a knack. He has a knack. He has a knack for
words. For words. And I think his influence in the hip hop game is very similar to Steph Curry's influence in the basketball game, where I don't think the hip hop game will ever be the same because of Drake. We are in a melodic era because of Drake. So I think he is definitely deserving of this Billboard award, but I still think that Adele could have wanted to.
Yo, Adele is not
Katy Perry.
Adele couldn't shine Drake's shoes in the Artist of the Decade award.
You know they could have gave it to? They could have gave it to Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift came out this decade, didn't she? This past decade, I think she would have been nominee.
She did. She did.
Should have gave it to Lil Baby. What about 42 Doug? 42 Doug, and maybe next decade.
Bro, some of these dudes got to be Artist of the Year first. You can't give them Artist of the Decade, and they're not even dominating the year for it. Maybe Lil Baby. We can talk about him. Maybe. 42 Doug, though. Come on, bro. Actually, let's go back even more. He got to get Artist of the Month. How about that? win Artist of the Month, and then we can have a convo.
42 Doug is dope, man. I like like 42.
Nah, I rock with 42 Dugg. He's a cool. He seems cool. I mean, I like a couple songs from him as well. We shall see what he ends up doing. But no, 1000%. I think Drake deserves it. Curious to know if there's anybody who disagrees. Like that's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Like strongly disagree. Like, come on.
And I'm going to say
that would make for a great combo.
And I'm going to give you a hot take that's not too hot. He will not win decade of the artist of the decade this next decade.
Of course not.
That's not a hot take. I think that should be obvious.
Bro, that's a low that's a cold take. That's a cold take, man.
Next topic.
Oh, my bad, bro. Next topic we have to talk about is, have collab projects become gimmicky? You know, I say that because recently, not even recently, I think this week, Lil Baby and Lil Durk put out their release date for their upcoming joint project called, I think it's called The Voice. Do you remember the name, Q? What is that joint called?
The Voice.
Some weird name, man.
It's not The Voice of the Streets, right? No, it's not.
I don't know. While you find it, basically they're putting out a project. I think within the next week or so. I don't know when you guys are gonna be hearing this, but that's definitely on the way. But we've seen a bunch of collab albums come out over the last couple of years. You know, Future linked up with Juice WRLD. You know, before Juice WRLD obviously passed, called World on Drugs. Future also linked up with Lil Uzi for a full length collab project. Future's, matter of fact, speaking of Future and Drake, before he linked up with Drake before, and it's like, I think the real combo to me is, or the question rather is, are we even asking for this as music listeners? Is this something that we need? Do we really need these collabs? Are the fans even asking for this? Are these artists just looking at this as an opportunity to make some money and capitalize off the moment that they have? You know, Q, I want to get your thoughts on this. I know you're not really offline. We talked about you're not really anticipating the Lil Durk and Lil Baby album like that, which I understand. But like, what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts on just the landscape of collab projects?
By the way, it's called Voice of Heroes.
There you go. Yep.
Voice of Heroes. So I like collab projects when they are done by like a big artist and then maybe like an artist on the come up. Like I really thought that when Lil Uzi Vert, remember Lil Uzi Vert had a collab project with Future? Yeah. Not this most recent one. They did collab mixtapes before this most recent one. They had mixtapes that they didn't come out like on like Spotify and stuff, but they were like on Dat Piff and stuff like that. But I thought that was pretty dope because it was like Future is the big dog and Lil Uzi Vert's the person on the come up, and it's like you get to hear these two different generations like mix their sounds together. I really like when collabs are like that, or even like Future and Juice WRLD. When that came out, Juice WRLD wasn't this mega pop star when it came out. He was still kind of on the come up, so it was dope hearing like Future have him under his like tutelage, and I thought that was dope. Even Future and Young Thug, I'm finding out that I just like Future's collabs. I think those are really good collabs because once again, Young Thug was on the come up. I do feel like, you know, when two people are at the top of their games, like Lil Durk and Lil Baby are, the expectations get risen so high that I just, it's rare that it's ever going to meet the expectations that we want from it. So that's why when you ask me, am I excited about it? I said, not really, because, you know, I just don't think that they will ever meet the expectations I would have for that project. But I mean, it's cool. It's something that's buzzworthy for sure, but not really. But and then when you mix two styles together, like Drake and Future, I think that's pretty dope too. But yeah, I mean, collabs were really big last 2 years ago. Remember when everybody was doing it? And in that wave, when everybody was doing it, there was not many that stood out to me. I'm just going to be real with you. What stood out to me more was artists collabing with producers. That gets me excited. I actually get more excited about that. Like if I hear a Future and Metro Boomin collab, that gets me. I'm hyped. But in terms of two artists, it's just too hard to see if their styles will mesh. It's just too hard to see if they'll be on the same in the same pocket. It's hard to see it ever meeting expectations. You know what I mean?
No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Yo, that's actually a really good point, man. I do get excited about the producer artist collab. The only one that to me was an absolute dud. Like I'm talking about, I keep that joint was the Big Sean Metro project.
I knew I was about to finish your sentence.
Bro, keep it, man. I said it when it dropped. I've been saying it over the years. I stand by it. That to me wasn't well put together. It just didn't mesh. I don't believe Big Sean's style, while he dropped songs like Bounce Back, on different projects, which had a different trap element to them. I didn't think that he was fit for that lane. And it showed over time. But whatever. I'm with you on that, though. That producer-artist collab, I'm with that. I'm all for that. But the artist-to-artist one, to me, I feel like they're just kind of they're losing value. They're losing value. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, when we start to see things happen too often, it almost to me makes it seem, it becomes cliche. It becomes expected. I miss the days where like things were unexpected. Like back in the day, Jay-Z putting out a whole album with R. Kelly. Now I know people ain't jacking.
Really,
I know people not like
that was popular.
People are not talking about R. Kelly, rightfully so. He's nasty. He's a nasty individual. But when they linked up, that was a moment. And I think that's what's happening. That's what should be happening. These types of collabs should be moments. I don't care if the project is good or not, but the fact that these two big time artists are coming together, it should mean something. And I think because it's happening too much, it's just losing its flair.
But it was once again, like I kind of proven to my point, it was what made Best of Both Worlds so tight was literally what it was. Best of both worlds. It was R. Kelly's R&B world merging with Jay-Z's like gutter, like mafioso rap world. And the mix was just dope to listen to. You know? I think that we can't put Lil Durk and Lil Baby. They kind of do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like putting a team with Steph Curry and Trae Young on the same team. Like, and we get excited about it. They do kind of the same thing. But if you were to put Steph Curry and LeBron, who kind of do two different things, like, oh wow, like this is dope. Like, that to me is what's missing. Like, we gotta get more of the more dynamic collaborations. Like, let's see something like Lil Baby merging with The Weeknd to do an album or something, like Lil Durk merging his style with like Nas. Like, that would be dope. But I don't get excited about Lil Baby, Lil Durk, honestly.
I kind of do, but not really. I'm gonna be honest with you. But what I will say this, and then we can kind of move on. The J. Cole and Kendrick had teased for years that they were putting out a collab project. And I don't even know if actually I might be wrong, I might be incorrect in that, but like I don't even think they were the ones who said it, but more so the fans were fucking screaming for it. To me, I miss the days where like the fans drove what happened from an artist standpoint. To me, it just seems like these artists are just being like, whether anybody's asking for it or not, hey, you trying to make a project together? We're gonna make some money. All right, cool, bet, let's do it. It's like, nigga, we didn't ask for this shit. We didn't ask for nobody asked for this. Why are you giving this to us? But whatever.
I mean, shout out though, like shout out Jay-Z and Beyonce did one that, which I thought was pretty dope. But what's funny?
The part was pretty decent.
Out of all the most anticipated ones that actually came out, the one that never came out, still to this day, we've been waiting on it for 15, 16, 17 years. Joel Santana and Lil Wayne. They were teasing
you see
a
what I'm saying?
Collaboration project.
You see what I'm saying?
15 years.
No. But not only were they teasing it, bro, we all wanted it. Are you kidding me?
It was like, come together.
We were like, oh, dog, Joel's and Wayne. Oh, let's get it. Never dropped. Matter of fact, no. They did put it out.
It was like 15 years late.
Like 2 years ago.
It was like, oh,
Yo, they put that
man.
joint. Yo, they released it on like freaking on like what are these file sharing? They released it on Dropbox.com. Like it wasn't even on like that joint wasn't even on
was
no
not-
like streaming
yeah,
service,
that was-
nothing. It was,
Let me tell you something. Joel Santana's career was fumbled.
Mm.
I mean, he had so much potential, and I just feel like I don't know what happened, but anyway.
It's a different story. That's a whole nother story, a whole nother deep dive for a different day, bro. But you're right. It was disappointing, man.
Joel Santana should have been one of the best rappers of all time.
Remember the topic we talked about on this show where we said what artist didn't live up to expectations? Joel should have been number one.
Joel Santana.
We didn't even mention him.
Joel Santana, man. Like he was. I listened to his second album, What the Game's Been Missing, like more than any other album I've ever listened to in my life. Like I've had that on replay. He was so tight. Like, I don't know.
No, you're right. You're right. You're 100% right, man. Hey, let's move on though, man. We want to know what you guys think. You know, are you tired of collab projects? Is it something that you still anticipate? Do you want collab projects? Matter of fact, who do you want? Since we talked about the fans creating the buzz for the artist, who do y'all want a collab project from? That's really where we should start. You know what I'm saying? Let us know on the comments on social media. Let us know on YouTube in the comments section. Let's keep it moving to the last topic. Q, if you'd like to kick this off.
Yes, sir. Actually, can you tell me because I don't have it?
Oh, whoops. Yeah, man. So this is artists, and so basically artists rather, I should say rappers. That's probably the more accurate term. Rappers typically are not considered songwriters. And so we wanted to break that down for you guys, you know?
Yeah. I didn't have it written down. I had arthritis. Artist was written down.
Arthritis.
I had beef written down. Drake. I had my Chipotle order. Black beans. I didn't have this one you're talking about.
Hey, while you're at it, go give me some Nigerian jollof rice, not the Ghanaian one, but Nigerian jollof rice, please.
I don't support. I don't support people that like Nigerian jollof.
Get out. Leave. I'm sick of you, dog.
I love jollof. Ghanaian jollof is just so good, man. It's greasier. It's oil. It's just so good, man. I want some Ghanaian jollof right now, man.
It's cool, but it's not better. But
I give it an A+.
It's not tough. It won't win Artist of the Decade award, would it?
Of course it would. It would win Artist of every single decade I was alive.
Hey, but no. Last topic though. Like I said before, typically rappers are not considered songwriters, and I think it's a very interesting dilemma. And I thought about this topic just because I was listening to the newest J. Cole project, and he had a couple songs on there that just made me say, damn, like when rappers storytell, it's different. Like it's a different ball game. Like I really feel like it. He had that one song called Close, right? Where is
that the one you're talking about? Puff Daddy slapped him?
Nah, that one's that's a different one. That's a different one. And by the way, he never even actually said Puff Daddy slapped him. He just said my last scuffle or whatever.
He was with Puff Daddy. I looked up to him. I
later on,
J. Cole.
Later on, we found out that Puff Daddy went ballistic. That Kendrick called himself the King of New York.
Puff Daddy, everybody wants to clown Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy has been a couple brouhahas in his life, dog. Like Puff Daddy might be about that life.
Look, man, we ain't here. We ain't even here to talk about. Are we going? Yo, listen, we gonna talk about this topic, or are we just gonna digress?
One more joke.
We can digress. It's cool.
Oh, wait, one more joke, real quick. So when he said that, I was just thinking of I'm not thinking of J. Cole and him was squaring up. I'm thinking of one of them fights where just hey man, hey you get off me, hey man, get off me like that, hey, like a tussle, like a
scuffle. It was a scuffle,
struggle. Hey man, get off me. Hey,
no.
Like the Ray J versus Fabulous.
No. Hey, better word. It was a skirmish. Yo, hey, why are there all these freaking words for fights? There, let's name them all. You got scuffle, you got
tussle,
you got tussle, you got altercation, you got a bar fight.
What is it? Wait. What did J. Cole say? J. Cole says a scrap. Okay, a scrap.
A scrap.
A brouhaha.
Yo, nobody says that. Stop. Why you keep saying that? Brouhaha. What the fuck are you talking about? You can't. Yo, I said that people say, not that you made up for this shit. Nobody says fucking brouhaha.
You never heard of brouhaha? I got to a brouhaha.
Never heard that shit. Never.
Oh, okay.
Who says that?
Right. A brouhaha. Yeah, I've heard of it.
From who is what I'm asking.
I've heard it on those night movies, like the
No, you watching too many pornos, man. Yo, they getting into brouhahas on pornos.
Oh man.
Hey, you know what, man?
That's funny though. That's funny.
You know what? But no,
That's funny.
but on the serious note, man, like
That's
J.
funny.
Cole to me, I thought he was telling some great stories on Close. And just in general, I don't think rappers in general get enough credit for songwriting / storytelling ability.
Whew.
I give you another name. It's funny because somebody as violent and as aggressive as King Von, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I heard this a lot about King Von was that he was a really good storyteller. I don't know if you ever heard that, but I actually do believe that to be true. If you hear some of his music, right? He had that one song, Crazy Story. A couple of different joints. Storytelling to me is not always about being this like complex Shakespearean tale where you're using, you know what I'm saying, onomatopoeia and all. No. Like sometimes it's just simply about telling a story from beginning to end. And I think that like more than often, and I don't mean for all rappers, but I think more than often rappers do not get acknowledgement for some of that stuff. You know, we talk about Kendrick all the time about why Good Kid, Mad City in particular is a really good project. But it's mainly, in my opinion, it's mainly a good project because of how great the storytelling is on that entire project. Another person who does it at a high level that no one discusses is Lupe to me. Lupe Fiasco is one of the best storytellers that I've ever heard in my life.
Great at storytelling.
And honestly, in no other genre other than hip hop, I could say, man, like I think that hip hop artists might be the best storytellers in music. I feel that way, man. I know this country. There's some good blues stories and things in blues and country. I get it, but as far as the raw aspect of rap, to me, it's poetry at its finest. Poetry to me is you telling a story to a degree. I think that rappers are basically the best storytellers.
Oh, so that's
in music.
That's where we're going with the topic.
That's where this is really
I
going.
thought you were saying like, why is it when rappers, like we say singer songwriter, like when we describe an artist,
but that's another thing.
It's rare that we say rapper songwriter. Why is it like why is it we are so scared to call them songwriters as opposed to a singer songwriter producer? Like,
well, that was the initial angle that I wanted to go with, and that's still in play. I still believe that to be true. Like, it's weird to me that rappers are only called rappers. It almost seems like the only time you call a rapper a songwriter is if they're a ghostwriter for somebody.
Yeah,
and why is that? That's strange.
Even in that case, they still won't. Like, if
they still won't.
J. Cole's Google profile or whatever you want to call it, it's not going to say rapper songwriter, but you look at any singer 90 and I know this because I'm ratings game music honcho. Put the ratings game music honcho. So like I see this when a lot of times they give me my press releases. They give me press releases of artists.
Was that noise that you just made? Is that how a brouhaha is described in as a sound effect?
That's warning you of a brouhaha. Hey, brouhaha going on. Brouhaha going on. Brouhaha going on Al 15. Brouhaha. But but I mean, to go back to what you were saying about songwriting, I mean, absolutely. I think rappers are such good not songwriters, storytellers.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of them tell the same stories. Like, it's funny on Twitter the other day, which I have a very poor following on Twitter. But on Twitter the other day, I asked
why do you have to remind the people your shit is so bad?
Because
why?
I'm more popping than I am on social media. I just want to tell people that, like,
fair enough.
I walk out sad on social media, but I'm doing pretty well. But
all right. Remind the people.
One of the best storytelling songs I've heard was Dave East. Keisha.
Yeah.
Keisha, what makes, I've only heard rappers do this. He was outlining every move that he was making. Like, he was talking about, I went to the club. This is what I had in my stomach. I was tired. I didn't feel like doing this. I got to the crib. I laid my stuff down. Like, I haven't heard that from many other people. But
you don't hear the intricacies in the storytelling.
The intricacies
from other genres. Yeah.
But I think the bigger question is, why isn't storytelling in rap appreciated? Because some of our best storytellers, I don't think, are doing that well in terms of popularity. Like, Dave East is a fantastic storyteller. Nas is a fantastic storyteller. Lupe is a fantastic storyteller, but some of these guys are not getting the credit as great rappers. I think Kendrick is really the only one that gets his just due. And you see when somebody is good at what they do and they storytell, how much they put them on a pedestal.
True. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really. One thing I will say is this. I think that when we start getting into the conversation about popularity, that's where I think this conversation goes left, because what's popular is not always what is the most quality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, like, to me, I find that as an issue sometimes. Like, to me, like, for example, right? Okay, we were just talking about Drake, our artist of the decade, right? There's somebody who might be like, oh, well, that's a Billboard award, and Drake had the best numbers over the last decade, but that doesn't mean he was the best artist. I'm just saying, whoever would disagree with Drake being the best artist, even though I don't think it applies, I actually think Drake is the exception, where Drake should be how we view things. To me, I actually believe Drake makes great music, and he gets the numbers to support the quality of music that he puts out. Like, I think he's a good example. But I think that we don't see enough of people like Drake getting acknowledged. To me, usually when somebody is popular nowadays, it's not always because they're just the best, they're the most talented at this, they're the most talented at that. It's just, hey, they went viral off TikTok, and they got a following because people really like their lifestyle. Like, it's like some random reason that has nothing to do with the music sometimes.
Well, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I mean, going back to the kind of the storytelling thing, though, it's kind of like, is it smart to be a storytelling rapper? If you really think about it, is it smart? Because once somebody heard the story one time, maybe once somebody heard the story two times, you're not going to want to replay the song, right? I'm playing devil's advocate. Like, I've heard Keisha's story. I can't listen to Keisha every day, but I can listen to One Dance by Drake every day. It's not a story. So, like, the best thing about Keisha is the fact that he's telling a story. Like, I can't sing along to that. I can't rap along to that. Like, maybe it's because we heard the story already. We don't need to hear it again.
Wait,
so is it even smart?
Wait, you don't think that One Dance was a story? He said, yo, I need one dance. I got the Hennessy in my hand.
That's not a dance.
Come on, he's telling a story. It's a bad story. It's a bad story, but it's a story, though. I mean, he's telling
bartender, bartender, you looking at me?
That's a story, bro. It's not a great
that's
one.
A situation. There's a difference between a situation and a story.
Okay, all right, fair enough. But no, I really want to know what you guys think. You know, ultimately, it really don't matter. I shouldn't say it doesn't matter what we think. What I think we're highlighting, though, is facts. You can go look it up. Anytime you see a rapper being talked about, they never use the songwriter title to label them ever. I'm talking about even for Kendrick.
Yeah. They never say
They just say rapper.
songwriter.
They just say rapper.
Never say rapper songwriter.
I find that to be very, very strange. As a matter of fact, I'm willing to bet this is like a systemic issue. This is like borderline systemic racism.
Here we go.
Dog.
Here we go.
Yo,
yeah.
Think about it, man.
X.
Think about it, man.
The man doesn't want to give us credit for writing.
You see. Here we go now. Every time it's like, nah.
All you're doing is sounding like Kwame Brown. Here's the thing about y'all black people. Y'all over here not supporting each other, acting stupid, talking about me. Kobe had 81.
He said, you see there, sir? Look, hey, sir, stop trying to dox me. I don't even know what that means, but he keeps saying it. But the point is, no. Listen, not even trying to be woke. You know this. We're not gonna act like there aren't systemic things that happen in the music industry. I give a perfect example. I give a perfect example. The term urban, right? Like how historically that's really meant black. And you see what happened, how they dismantled that shit last year during the George Floyd things, rightfully so. That's not a good word, bro. Like some words is not okay to be labeling an entire community. Like if I make R&B music, but I'm black, stop putting me on urban radio just because I'm black. Like I make R&B or pop music. Judge me accordingly. I think that was the thing that Tyler, the Creator, was highlighting, if you remember at the Grammys that one time. Yeah, he was basically saying,
it's true.
Like, just because I'm black, stop like putting me in a box. Like, and I think that's what they do more than often, to be honest with you.
Of course,
even down to the title of calling them rappers and not really giving them songwriter titles and stuff like that.
Rapper is one of the most trashed on titles for a profession. It's not taken seriously. You can put if you wanted a job at Northrop Grumman and one of your occupations were I was a rapper, they would laugh at you. They would say, "Oh, you're a rapper. Oh, you're one of those type of people." If you put anything else, country singer, R&B, dance, EDM, reggaeton, Latin, whatever. Oh, that's cool. That's nice. I'm a rapper. No, doesn't matter if you rap about Christianity. Doesn't matter if you rap about saving the world. They just hear the word rapper and they automatically start judging you and looking down on you. And so that's a problem.
I got a question for you though. You're right. By the way, you're right. But I got a question before we get up out of here. You see what you just said, I completely agree with, but like, look at the opposite side of that. And then there's people like Lecrae and people who are Christian rappers who say, stop calling me Christian rapper. Just call me a rapper. Mm-hmm. It's like, there's all these people trying to fit in on one side of the fence, right? Yeah. It's like, it's never really one that's good enough. Like you got a Christian rapper who's like, stop calling me a Christian rapper. I'm a rapper who just happens to talk about God. Right? It's like, which side of the fence are you on? But I think, no, you're right though. Unfortunately, society doesn't really respect rap, to be honest with you.
I think it's time that we remove, because I mean, how many people actually want to be called rappers these days? I think it's about time we just remove the word rapper. Like
artist.
Let's just call them artists, because I think rapper is such a negative connotation attached to it that like you are going to be judged and made decisions made for you that you didn't ask for just because of that title.
100% agree. 100% agree, man. I think we've reached the end of the show. No indie reviews this time around. We're gonna get you guys on the next. Yeah. No, wait, so not this time.
So do I get half a paycheck this episode?
You get none, sir. Oh, no. You hey, sir. I'm gonna give. You know what I give you instead of some pay? I give you some of Mama's cooking. Yeah, I get sprinkle some of Mama's cooking.
This is why. This is why I should have voted for Trump, because Trump promised to give us money. He promised to give people like myself money.
The brokies. Yeah.
Trump.
Yeah, no indie review. You don't want to say that over these airways, bro.
I'm
like,
just
please,
joking.
you have to
I
stop.
hope these people hear my sarcasm.
I don't even want you to joke in that manner.
Ill-advised wise guy's been canceled.
Hey, no wonder your Twitter's garbage. No wonder your Twitter's garbage.
Hey, man, that's true.
Hey, man. Hey, my Twitter is not that far ahead of yours. It's like maybe I think I got like maybe 4 followers more, but that's about it. But no, we about to get up out of here. We appreciate y'all for sticking with us this long. If you made it this far, please hit that subscribe button. Like we said, each and every 2 weeks, you can catch us breaking down some BS, and getting into brouhahas and so on and so forth.
Hey, check us out. Hey, check me out, ratingsgamemusic.com. I do a lot of writing on there. Check me out on Twitter, QDZ for Sheezy. I need followers, please. And then I think QDZ for Sheezy is my Instagram. Check me out on there. And yeah, happy June.
Happy Memorial Day for people out there celebrating.
Hey, don't age us, man. What the hell?
What do you mean? They know when this is going to drop.
I want people to know that like this was filmed the day that they saw it.
Yeah, all right. On that note, I think we've given the people enough today.
I think so.
Let's get up out of here, and I'm going to enjoy some good old barbecue on Memorial Day.
Yeah,
because it's Memorial Day, right? Today, right? Memorial Day is today, right?
Memorial Day. It ain't no damn Memorial Day.
Hey, as always, if you're giving advice, make sure that mother sucker is ill. Ew.